I started the interview last year by sharing a story about the kid, um, where Paul passed him on the street and gave him a smile, and he had to call Mom to let him know that that had happened. So, new story for this year. um, the other night, this happened like 2 nights ago, he yells through the entire apartment. He's like, Mom? I'm like, yes. Not that I care, but when does Kim's Convenience start again? So he won't admit it to anybody, but he loves the show. Because he's 15 and he's too cool for school, but yeah, so...
I like that he prefaces it with like, not that I care.
Yeah,
like
totally.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask
That is
anyway.
amazing.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And I think the more and more I get into it, I think I can speak for a lot of people this way, it just seems to be, and I said this last year as well, that it's an inherently Canadian show.
It is.
Because, I mean, the diversity of the cast is there. It's not commented on. There's no reason to comment on it.
Mhm.
It's just, this is life in Canada.
Yeah.
And you guys are now, like, your roles as working class characters are just so relatable to, like, everybody I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you guys bring that to life so easily. I mean, is it comfortable to slip into these characters every day? Is it difficult to find the role anymore?
That's what the she said. But this is still lots of work.
He likes it to complain.
No, I never complain.
Never.
You always say sneak attack. And, you know, what I supposed to do?
I don't.
Just work.
What I love too is that, like, Kensington Market, OCAD, the streetcar, traffic problems, you know, and the contrast between the swanky clubs and then the grubby street, like all of those things are so Toronto.
Yeah.
And it makes me so happy to see so many familiar places. And actually, there's a lot that's shot right around where I live.
Yeah.
A lot, like literally stone's throw from where I live.
Yeah, and it's great, like how it is so unabashedly set in Toronto. I mean, Toronto was always sort of labeled in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. It was like the United States of Generica, is a term I've heard
Like
for
trying
it.
to pretend to be
Yeah.
somewhere else all the time.
Chicago,
So
New York, or Washington, or all these different places, but never Toronto. And I love the fact that we are, no, this is like, not only are we in Toronto, we're going to double down, we're going to name businesses that everybody knows who's in Toronto, and we're going to have, you know, iconic Toronto images up there.
I love the B camera work.
Yeah.
With it, that
Oh my
it
God,
just it's so, and also because the city's changing so much. Like with the condo development is so rapid that, and there's new little parks getting built. It's just it's so nice to see the city in transition and
I love it.
Yeah, we'll look back on this in 20 years and go like,
Yeah.
where's that city now?
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like if you ever watch the old Police Academy movies, because that was shot in Toronto, and now you look at where, because they're downtown, it's like, that used to be a parking lot. It's like, no, that's now all condos.
Yeah.
That's all like commercially zoned. And back then it was like all these wide open spaces, and you see the landmarks, and you're like, wow, it's really changed in close to 40 years now. No.
Although I notice that every time I watch Strange Fruit.
Oh, right.
Because we got that shot of the city.
That's right.
Yep.
And it's just,
So much.
there's no.
Even the original Degrassi,
Yeah.
those streets don't look the same anymore.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The signs don't look the same anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the police cars, different color,
Yeah.
you know, transit buses, everything.
Now, they talk how on dramatic sets, things get funny because you have to release that tension. On comedy, because it's all timey, it's all facial expressions and all that. Is it tougher?
There are a lot of knife fights on set. I find a lot of screaming.
Lots of knife fights.
Andrea, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. She's brutal. Her switchblade work has really improved from season 1 to season 4. Like she's like, I gotta hand it to her. She's been working, practicing little feints. Right, no.
We're big eaters on Kim's Convenience, so usually when you're on set, she's just going to grab, where's the food?
No, but I mean, in terms of just it's everybody is at the top of their game, which is great. So when you have a great script to work with, and then you add great actors, and then a great director, and everybody just gets a chance to chew around and you work things out beforehand, like we do a private blocking session, and it's the first time we're actually running the scene, and then you make these little, Jean's a master of this too, she makes these little discoveries, or she layers something in that I wouldn't have considered, and it's just like...
makes me worried. What are you doing now?
No, but but I love, because Jean finds the truth in something, and she comes up with something which is great, because we're partners in crime. In all of our scenes, it's I'm reacting to something that she's done, or she's reacting to something I've done, and it's great because we've known each other for so long. We've got this incredible shorthand, and I can, like, the trust is there. It's not like we can predict, but it's sort of like I know where this is gonna go. Like we have this sixth sense. We're in step in terms of where the comedy needs to go in a certain scene, and how each character would respond in that way. And there's a great consistency to it, and you find these wonderful, really great moments that you wouldn't get if we didn't know each other, and we just met, and we're like, we don't know the characters, we're figuring it out, or this or that. We've got this incredible, and it's a luxury to have that shorthand.
We're a good team.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and just the way you guys portray your characters, it's... And I said before, like, not only is it working class relatable, because, you know, you guys are, your characters are in there struggling to survive just day to day, working their jobs, but the romantic relationship is believable as well, because it's there. You can see that they both love each other very much. They both get on each other's nerves all the time.
But it makes me crazy when he doesn't clean his own dish.
I don't understand
You know?
that. That's what the dishwasher is for.
And then he
You
doesn't
put the
take
dish in a
kitchen.
dishwasher. What have to fear? I can't just waste a water, just
It
one
makes me
dish.
so happy if only
No,
you just take
you
a
know,
dish to
if
sink.
you take a quarter from a mini car tray van, you put a quarter back in a mini car tray van.
We've had that discussion in my
apartment.
apartment.
We've both had those discussions in our own respective marriages, and it's and that's the thing about marriage. I mean, there's love and there's marriage, and they're different things, right?
Yeah.
And it's really satisfying to explore those dynamics, the give and take of the day-to-day negotiations that just to make a relationship stay afloat. And there's more of that to look forward to in season 4, which I'm very excited about.
Because I mean, it's going to sound really weird, or maybe it won't sound really weird. Maybe it'll sound like an offhanded compliment, but I look to you guys in guidance in a lot of my own relationships, because this is the first long relationship I've had with my present partner. She's amazing, but I find that there are times when we butt our heads and we don't get along, and I'm like, but then I see you guys doing something similar as characters. I'm like, oh, okay. The relationship's not ending. We're just butting our heads over something, and at the end of the day, and I get that.
Yeah.
You're like, what
From
would
watching
happen to
a lot of what you do. I see it, and it's really comforting. So you guys don't only supply like a lot of humor and a lot of laughs, but there's a lot of humanity there that just speaks to me on that level, which is amazing.
Fantastic to hear.
Great
Yeah,
to hear.
you know, and then it also goes hand in hand with, we don't present a hyper-idealized version of a relationship where it's like, you see any sitcoms, like, they never fight, but when they fight, it's always over something, like, they've had big fights. Like, and like they could be relationship-changing arguments, you know, and the way they see each other, like with the hot potato Carl and all, you know, those things. But at the end of the day, you see, they love each other so much, and that's where it comes from. And they're presented, the relationship is presented, warts and all. But at the end of the day, when we talk about this, we love those bedroom scenes, you know, at the end, because it is oftentimes reconciliation, but it's also a chance to see them relax and they're at their most vulnerable, and they're just speaking to each other as a couple, and as performers, you know, especially performers of color, to be able to play a scene like that, we're just human beings in a relationship. It's you know, we're in heaven.
Yeah, before Kim's Convenience, I could count on one hand, and I think I'd only need 2 or 3 fingers, the number of characters that I had that had husbands and children and a private life. You know, it just,
And it's real too, which is where the humor lies
Yeah.
in the truth of it,
Yeah.
as opposed to making it over the top and too
Yeah.
cartoony and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what grounds it. It's like it's the believability
Yes.
and the relatability too,
Mhm.
because everybody goes, "Oh yeah,"
Right.
and then we've been through this one too, right? And so to see it, I love it because we don't handle it with kids' gloves,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of love and respect that's given to their relationship as it's written, and we respect that as well, that relationship, which is really, really great. It's a joy to play, and you know it is something that we all know is very it's special when you get a show that works and you get a chance to play characters who are real people instead of caricatures or you know it's fantastic. So.
Which is the perfect spot to wrap it up because we're giving me the high side. So, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
no,
fun.
it's always lovely to see you guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's lovely to see you guys.
More.
Yeah, no.